Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you my recipe for my Asian beef rice bowl. It's a really quick recipe. I do this so often weekdays because it is so quick and easy. I need to get on with all the prep, get all the veggies and everything cut up at the beginning because it cooks so quickly. I need to have everything ready to go. So we'll get underway. First off, it is a rice bowl, so I'm going to need rice. And what I do to get perfect rice every time is I just use a cup, any sort of vessel, use anything you want just to measure out your rice. That's 1 cup of rice into the pan. And you want to use 2 to 1, so I have 1 cup of rice, so I want 2 cups of water. Pinch of salt. Next, I want to get on with my veggies, so I just want to slice these all up for stir frying. Nice thin strips, so everything's quick and keeps crunch as well. And the same with a carrot, just top and tail it and discard those. And I just want to cut it into batons like this. Remove just that little bit there so it's squared off, and then cut it into thin strips. And if you've got a good sharp knife, you can stack these 2 or 3 high and then cut them into fine matchsticks. And don't get too hung up about this, you know, it doesn't really matter if they're not perfect fine matchsticks, they'll taste all the same. A whole bunch of scallions, just lop off the ends and then slice diagonally into thin strips. This saves me the bother having to peel and slice an onion. Not that that's that much work really, but when you're hungry it is. And these green tops, I don't really want these in my stir-fried veggies, but I do want some to scatter over my finished dish. And now that I have my veggies all cut up, it's time for the beef. And I have here a good big ribeye, because 1 ribeye can easily feed 2 people. Really, this size could feed 3, but I am pretty greedy. So all I want to do with this is slice it thinly so it cooks super quick, just like the veggies. This is a ribeye steak, but you could use sirloin if you liked, or strip loin. If using a sirloin or strip loin, just slice off the fat on the edge. That's my steak cut up, so I'm just going to get rid of the board and have a quick hand wash. Next, I'm going to get on with the sauce. And this is another great step, is that this sauce is a no-cook sauce, and it works both as a sauce for the stir-fry veg part, and it works as a sort of post-cook marinade for the steak. And it couldn't be simpler. First up, I want barbecue sauce. You can use any barbecue sauce you want. This is my favourite. It comes from County Wicklow in Ireland, and it is a great barbecue sauce. It's got a bit of a kick to it, so I don't need to add additional heat to the sauce. But if you're using this barbecue sauce that is more sweet than it is spicy, you could add a little chili oil, you could add some chili flakes. If you wanted a really sweet sauce with just the tiniest touch of heat, you could use some sweet chili sauce as well as the barbecue sauce. So all I need is about 2 tablespoons. Then I want 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. I like dark soy sauce here. Tablespoon of honey, nice runny honey. I want some lime as well juice for the sauce, and since I need the zest later on, I'm going to just zest it now into a bowl because it's extremely difficult to zest a citrus fruit that has been juiced. So I do need the juice of a whole lime, but I only need half of the juice for the sauce. And 2 fat cloves of garlic, just grate them in with a fine grater. This also, because it's raw, gives a bit of a heat and kick to the sauce as well. And then I just want half a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. This adds an incredible flavour that you can't really replicate with anything else. Stir that together, and that, guys, is the sauce. Right, time to get a cooking. So, grab myself a wok. You don't need a wok, obviously. You can use any pan really that you want. Get some heat on under that, and just a little bit of oil. My rice is cooked, so I can turn the heat off under that. Just leave a lid on top of it and let that just sit there for a few moments until everything else is ready to go. My pan's just beginning to start to smoke, so I can see it's hot enough to take my beef. So carefully add your beef to the hot pan. My beef is cooked now, so I can just tip it into the sauce. And don't bother even washing up this pan. Tip in our prepared veggies. I normally would use pak choi for this dish, but sometimes I can't get it, and don't worry if you can't. Just add a couple of large handfuls of spinach. They'll wilt down into this. Not only does the beef take on the flavour of the sauce, but the sauce takes on the flavour of the beef, so it's a win-win situation. I'm also going to add just a couple of spoonfuls of this sauce into my stir fry. And give it a final toss together. And that is that. I'm frying an egg to go along with it as well. And whilst they are frying, I'm going to tend to my rice. So to my rice, I want to add a tablespoon of soy sauce, and I want a squeeze of lime, the other half of that lime. Stir that through with a fork just to fluff up the rice. Split the rice between a couple of bowls. Add our veggies. For my sliced beef. My fried egg, crispy underneath but still with a soft yolk. That lime zest I kept from earlier on, I just want to scatter onto my egg. I want some of my green parts from the scallions. I think I'll have just a few flakes of chili both on my egg and my beef. Last but not least, a sprinkling of sesame seeds on the beef. And I'm just going to spoon over just a little more of this sauce just over the beef. Maybe a little to run down my egg. And I'm ready to eat. I am incredibly excited about eating this. I always am. Guys, as always, you will get the full ingredient list in the description box below, as well as a link to my website with a full and printable version of the recipe. And I guess now there's only one thing left to do, and that's the tasting, the best part. This is best eaten if you can slightly mix everything together. I have a very loaded bowl, as I always do when I make this. It's incredibly good. As I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. Please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.